go on.
Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Hitnmiss podcast. It's a very special episode today. It's preview of the El Sackico, we would like to call it, United versus Spurs. I've got TP.Gram in the background laughing.
Got some smoke
today
talk.
I'm joined by a few special lads. I'm joined by Elliot.
Yo.
Paddy.
Oh my God.
And our special guest for today, TP.Gram.
Come on, boys. Nice to be here. Let's get it cracking.
Nice to have you here, bro. Bro, just before we start, just kindly introduce yourself, what you do in the footballing world, and where we can find you on your Insta, social medias.
My Insta's there. I think on my Insta you'll find like my other social media. I'm a long-suffering Spurs fan. I do some sports journalism here and there, but it's been a rough season, and it's only just started.
It's just started.
We've literally just started. Let's get into it then. Spurs.
Before we start, this Taddy went to put on his Man United kit, and he's bare off to like right now, as much as Tottenham are in the mud, United are in the mud.
In the mud. You're in the mud.
No, you're not in the mud. Like, we're still bumping the table. Let's not forget that.
Okay, let's look at it like this though. Ole versus Nuno. The battle of the worst managers in the Prem.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
Who's coming out on top?
Bro, do you know what it is? I was speaking to my boy the other day, and I feel like this is one of them games where literally one team is going to turn up. It's going to be low intensity. Either one team's going to blow the other out the park, or the other team's going to do it. But it's not going to be one game where it's like 3-2, close, going to the wire. It's going to be awful. It's going to be absolutely awful. I'm dreading it. I'm not looking forward to it. Like, the only person that is worse than Nuno, I would say, is Ole. And do you know what it is? I don't want to come here and slander Nuno, but he's just not what I thought he was. Honestly, he's just not what I thought he was. Honestly, I thought I was going to get some manager that's playing like some high-intensity, expansive football, creating chances. But, bro, like, the last 6 games have been an absolute snooze fest.
I mean, you said Nuno, you were talking about Nuno and being the worst manager in the Prem. We've seen him play a few different formations. Against Arsenal, he played 3 at the back. I think I saw that's when he played. Was it 3 at the back when he played Sanchez?
No, it wasn't 3 at the back, but he just made like bad personnel calls. For example, so he dropped Romero, then he dropped Skip. When it's like, if we're talking about consistent players, they're one of our most 2 consistent players this season. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that was the biggest problem that a lot of Spurs fans had with Nuno. Like, I feel like that was the one where it was like everyone watched that game and was like, whoa, what's he doing now? Do you get it? Like, because it's like, it's different if you play your best players and then they don't really turn up, and it's like, cool, he needs to like make them gel. But then in a big game, North London derby, arguably the biggest game of the season for Spurs fans, and then you drop the 2 most consistent players, and then you realize it's not working, then you bring on Skip at halftime, by then it's too late, and then after that you play Romero every other game, so you know that you got it wrong. It's just like them type of decisions and them type of calls there. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's unforgivable, but you know how football fans are fickle in it, so they're not going to remember, they're not going to forget things that are just, bro, come on, bro, 3-0 at halftime against Arsenal. Like, that's almost as bad as flipping being 4-0 down to Liverpool at home last week, may I add. But things like that, just don't forget. It's just,
listen.
That's going to be playing on everyone's mind still to this day.
Do you think that the lineup versus West Ham, obviously you played a 4-2-3-1, same as United. Do you think you should play that same lineup against United this weekend?
The only thing I can commend Nuno on is because when Mourinho was there, it took Mourinho a while to find his starting lineup, or a lineup that he can go in like week in, week out and be confident in. And I feel like Nuno has found that lineup with the 4-2-3-1, Højbjerg and Skip sitting, and then obviously the 3 behind Kane and Son, Tanguy and Lucas. I think he's played like the last 3 Premier League games. Like, and to be fair, I genuinely do feel like that is our strongest 11. A back four, obviously Romero and Dyer in the 2. I definitely feel like that's our best 11. So, but it's a catch-22 because as much as I feel like that's our best 11, it's like when we're playing, we're not creating anything. We're not playing with any sort of like gel or pass patterns of
patterns of play. Yeah.
It's like if you're playing your best 11 and you don't have a pattern of play, that's even worse than not knowing your best 11. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, how much better can it get from here if you're playing the team that you think is your best 11? Do you know what I mean? But in terms of like the starting lineup, I definitely feel like that starting lineup he played against West Ham and the starting lineup he played a couple games before, that's definitely our best starting 11, and that's probably the starting 11 he's going to go with against United on the weekend.
Taddy, your starting lineup 4-2-3-1 as well.
No Pogba.
Liverpool. No Pogba this time. You got
he wasn't going to start anyway, to be fair.
Huh?
You reckon?
He wasn't what?
He wasn't going to start anyway, to be fair. Like, you look at Solskjaer, like, I don't know. I feel like Solskjaer...
Nah, I think Spurs, against Spurs, maybe. I think Spurs, he probably would have...
I don't think so. Because you see Solskjaer, he wants to shoehorn this McFred thing. And then, obviously, Rashford...
It's going to be that against Spurs. I don't want that. I want entertaining football.
It's Pete, but
do you really have a choice?
Those boys are like, those are his guys that will ride for him, that will just run around for him. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, did you see the stat? What they played against Liverpool, 1 tackle between them. You played 2 DMs.
I think they had 5 tackles the whole game. Like the whole team.
Saying? This is a big game as well.
Cool. So that's what this game could go anywhere.
I reckon. Go on.
But in terms of our lineup, though, Varane will be back this weekend as well. So Lindelof is no longer... He's a liability, I can't lie, man. Every time I see that guy play, liability for me. But with Varane...
I've been hearing
I'll probably put in Tellers. I'll probably start Tellers because Shaw's dropped off. I'll probably take out Shaw because he's starting to drop off a couple performances. I ain't trying to have that. If you want to be a world-class left fullback, you've got to be putting them performances and not drop off. Don's dropping.
So who would you put on instead of Shaw?
I'll put Tellez because he's the reason why Shaw even got to a better player. He had competition. We need to bring that competition in.
No,
Tellez hasn't played for a few games, man.
This is my problem with United fans. I feel like you lot just like... I don't feel like you lot deep live. I feel like you lot think that the world is green.
Man them.
Tellez did not make Shaw a better player, bro. Shaw's always, I think in my opinion, Shaw's always been a better left back. Bro,
since Tellez came in, Shaw has not been one of the best fullbacks in the past year. I'll tell you that for a fact.
Yeah, but I don't think
what year Shaw was a better fullback before this year, before 2021.
No, but I don't think you can come out and say that's directly due to Tellez coming in. Because Tellez has hardly played, in my opinion.
But I feel like it's competition warns a player about, cool, we're bringing another player who's probably just as good as you, different league. Remember, this Tellez guy plays Champions League football consistently in it, compared to Shaw, who plays your odd Champions League and the Europa League rest of the season. You get what I'm saying? Some type of competition is now being brought in to say, look, you've got to buckle up now. Otherwise, it's a thing where he's going to be playing ahead of you. Because that's what we need in our team. There's too many players in our team. If you man saw over the past 2 years, there's too many players in our team that are comfortable with their position because there's not enough competition. Do you get it? So,
and I feel like as well as with Solskjaer, he has his favourites in it. So
that's what I'm saying.
The likes of Luke Shaw, McTominay, Fred, even Rashford, they know for a fact they're not getting dropped. Do you know what I mean? So as much as you can say that the competition for places, I feel like Luke Shaw knows deep down, even me being 80%, I'm 100% starting. Do you know what I mean? And that is a scary thing for a player.
But then why do you think that like Ole has these favourites? What is it based on? What is it based on? Passion? Based on commitment?
I feel like he doesn't actually believe in his own managerial ability. So it's like, I know this player is going to give me
that is
quote unquote 6, 7 out of 10. So let me just play him. Or I know Fred and McTominay are just going to run the whole game. So let me just play him. I know Rashford might run in behind and get a chance there. So let me just play him. But he doesn't believe in his ability to, cool, let me play Rashford.
He plays him for safety. Yeah,
facts. Or like, he doesn't believe in his ability to say, oh, cool, let me play Sancho and see if he can do something little with Martial. Like he doesn't believe in his own tactics, so he just plays the guys that he knows what he's going to get out of them.
And hence why there's no link-up play between the United squad.
I think when I see people talk about McTominay, I don't see people talking about his quality on the ball. I just keep hearing like his runs, like he's up and down, but you're a midfielder. Like you have to be up and down. That's what I expect from you at least. At a big club like Manchester United, you should be dropping minimum 7s out of 10s every week. Sorry.
And you know with McTominay, it's funny you say that. I'll watch McTominay for 90 minutes, or I'll watch him over a couple of games, and like I don't know what actual quality he has other than fitness. Like he will just keep going the whole game.
Honestly, he's just a tall player who can just run around and make it look like he's doing something, but really and truly he's not. Fred is someone every team knows he needs 2 touches to get the ball moving, so they press him quickly in it. And you see Fred, he'll make your odd mistakes or slip up, and hence why we get caught lacking all the time.
But even with Fred, I agree. But even with Fred, like he's a bit more tenacious, so he'll get about more in terms of like nipping the ball and then get it gone. Like you can see some qualities in Fred where it's like, cool, maybe under another manager he'll be really efficient if they coach him to just win the ball back and give it to someone else. But McTominay, I don't see him win the ball. I don't see him make any good passes. I don't see him like block off any.
He's like, you know what? He reminds me of. I would say he's like a workhorse, but he's not really working for something. He's
He just looks like he's doing something.
Like he'll probably like in your you see like your games like your Man City, he'll perform in a game like that just from just working hard, trying to get the ball back. But really and truly, in a different other game, you're wondering what's this guy doing.
Yeah, it's true.
I agree. Speaking of Fred, that moves us on to our topic of individual battles. Elliot, you're a neutral supporter in terms of this. You don't support either team. Happily. How do you see the battle between, in the midfield especially, between Spurs and United, where I feel personally that's where the game is going to be won?
It's hard to say, innit? Because obviously, like they're saying, Fred and McTominay, they're runners. And then obviously you got Bruno, who's more up the pitch, not really doing much defensively. And then you look at Spurs' side, they're going to have Højbjerg, who I think is class. He's going to be doing his bit. And Ndombele, if he starts, then you just know it's going to be a bit less intense than if you had a different midfielder. I think you're also playing, is it Skip?
Yeah, Skip.
Yeah.
Skip as well. I don't really rate Skip, but I understand why he's there. But if Ali plays or something like that, then definitely.
Nah, Ali's not going to play.
I feel like Spurs will just lose in the midfield.
Ali's not going to play under any circumstances.
What's your opinion on Ali, man? Do you think he's dead with
what's happened to him, because he fell off badly.
Ali, to me, he's a player where, cool, with Spurs, like post Pochettino, everybody knew what Spurs were. We weren't that team that was going to even be in Champions League, let alone fighting for top 4, etc. But then obviously when Poch came and obviously he gave us like a kind of new identity, like Ali, there was some players that were like integral to that. So obviously the likes of Eriksen and Ali, and then the feeling I've got for Ali is just so like every season I want to give him another chance. Every game he plays, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be Ali's game.
That player, man.
And he's one of them players. I think this is the season where I just say, Ali, as much as I love you, I might have to just cut ties because I don't know what it is that I don't know if he's just a different player or just a different person, or because even I see on the ball, he has no ideas, he has no like intent, like
Ali, man, safe every time. Whenever I look at him, he plays safe. I'm thinking, how 3-4 years ago was he bagging 15 goals, whatever it is, 15 assists,
goals a season, bro?
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, easily he's getting 10 goals, 10 assists in the season, maybe even 15. And then now you're looking at him and you're thinking, you're barely getting 5. Like, you look like an academy player.
I'm sure last season he got like 2 goals.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Was he ever the guy that was good on the ball, though? Or was he good at getting
I don't know if he was a shadow striker.
I think he was a player on the technically. Back then, I would say he was probably
he wasn't
one of
that
the
bad
best technically gifted. Man,
I mean, he wasn't
really all about footwork.
He wasn't, but to be fair, he wasn't really like a dribbler or I'm going to pick up the ball from the halfway line.
But he
and
knew
drag
what
it
he
back
could do.
in.
When he got it, he knew what to do. You get what I'm saying? He could
It's true.
He's that
make it look easy.
Yeah. But even Havertz, I would say Havertz could dribble more and has more ball control than Dele Alli. However, Dele Alli's main quality was just the fact that in the final third, he was clinical. So he knew where to be all the time. If Kane's not there, Ali's there 110%. You know what I mean? And I feel like in this day and age, a midfielder that them late runs in the box is very rare, bro. Because if you look in the Premier League, how many of them are there really left? Like, you know, the Lampard role. That's what he used to do. But that's why it was so.
There was Lampard. There was Lampard. Sorry to cut you off there, bro.
No stress. Carry on. Now I'm just saying, like that's why it was so impressive the numbers he got, because it's like, wait, this guy's a midfielder getting these numbers. Now you don't see midfielders getting these numbers. You'll see the strikers and the wingers get those numbers. So his ability to get in a box late or score goals, or if even in big games as well, he used to do it in big games against Chelsea's, against Arsenal's, like. And now it's just like, what, like.
What do you do?
Who is he?
But then, I mean, you can see it like that, but I always look back to the main player who I think was in your team was Eriksen.
Yeah.
You need a creative outlet. Kane, I'm sorry, Kane, this whole dropping back and doing... Kane's not even doing niche anymore. Like, he's not doing anything.
Do you know what I think the thing is with Eriksen?
It's not sustainable. Yeah.
You know, I think the thing is with Eriksen, I feel like Eriksen was so underrated, yeah? Like, even, I'm not even saying I wanted him to say, oh, he's one of the best midfielders in the world. Not even like that. But he was so underrated for what he did that people didn't actually understand what losing Eriksen actually was. Do you know what I mean? So now when you look at it, you think, why is things not working? But it's Eriksen. He's the glue.
Link up.
Yeah, you think you could just replace him and get like a Lascelles or Tanguy Ndombele? I don't think Tanguy Ndombele at his best, he won't provide to Spurs what Eriksen used to provide.
Yeah, I agree. But then, okay, in terms of individual battles then, Elliot, do you think Ndombele up against McTominay and Fred, how do you think that's going to go?
Sourcing them up. I'll be so real.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like Spurs win the midfield, in my opinion. I feel like, I don't know who's going to be more possession-based, though, because I'm thinking of it. Because United, they do like to counter-attack. And obviously, with Ronaldo in the team...
United will have more possession.
But yeah,
United will have more possession because we can't sustain... As much as they can't sustain attacks, we cannot sustain attacks. In our midfield, we literally have... Do you know what it is? I'm saying that in our midfield, we have Højbjerg and Skip. But in their midfield, they have McTominay and Fred. But I don't know, man. I just feel like they've got more quality, like, all around the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So even, you know, when they say the individual brilliance, they've got more players like that. It's just cool. They're more comfortable. I just feel like Lucas, he runs down blind alleys, and Son, he's more of I'll run off the ball. Kane likes to drop deep, but he has no real tech. Like, I don't even know where anything his team comes from. It's peak right now.
TP, you said Son. How do you think he's going to fare up against Bissaka? I reckon he's going to kill Bissaka. I don't think Bissaka's going to want to go up at all with this game.
But you know what it is? Son has actually quite adapted his game, to be fair, because you rarely see him actually go 1v1 with the right back ever. Like, his thing is more, okay, his thing is one, recycling the ball. He recycles the ball very well. So maybe like passes down blind alleys, he will easily get there and obviously maintain possession and maybe pass it back. But another thing is the running in behind. So that's obviously the side of Varane and Wan-Bissaka. So I feel like if he gets like within the first 10 minutes, if he gets like a good run or he gets on the end of a good ball, then cool, he's live and he's active. But Son can easily be quiet. He can easily have a quiet game where it's like, yeah.
See, that's where it then comes from both teams, yeah. In terms of the midfield battle and like match position for position, yeah. It all depends with how the game goes within the first 15 minutes for both teams. Because if we look at the past recent games, yeah, the games are known for United and Spurs. We've been judging them within the past 50. If the first 15 minutes of the game ain't good, we know what's going on for the rest of the game. United will be lethargic, slow, not enough outputs coming out from Bruno. He's doing too much, giving the ball away. And then with Spurs now, you're seeing Kane doing other jobs he's not supposed to. You get what I'm saying?
And you know what the thing is? But the thing is, back to what I was saying about United, yeah, bro, they can turn it on. They can actually just say, cool, for the next 15 minutes, we're on fire. Like, we're literally on fire. I don't think we have the ability to actually just turn it on and be on fire for the next 15 minutes. I think our thing would just be maybe piling on the pressure for maybe 10 minutes, maybe getting some balls into the box and then maybe score them from a set piece. But their whole thing is just that Rashford can make 4 or 5 runs in 10 minutes and one of them will come off. Bruno, because you know Bruno, his whole thing is, Bruno's whole thing is, I don't know if you lot watch Bruno, but this thing kills me about Bruno, yeah? Like, not to slander him or anything. Bro, the guy actually picks up the ball, yeah, and actually just kicks it up the pitch. Like, you know how, bro, and you know what, yeah? When it comes on, when it comes off, it looks good, innit? But sometimes I see him, I'm just thinking, wait, what on earth was that, by the way?
See, with midfielders, that's what I'm saying. With midfielders like Bruno, yeah, he's one of them ones where you're just like, all right, cool. There's no need to be. He's one of them players where he thinks, all right, cool. First thing in my head is, he scans the pitch before the ball even comes to him. All right, cool. I know my man's gonna make a run or try to make a run, boot it, boom, and it gives away possession. We get caught. There's times where Bruno's giving the ball away at very bad spots. Like where we've been counted from, and then the opposition scores, and we're like, oh, that was not needed. Them types of passes. He's a risk taker player. Sometimes,
but his thing is booky, because you know what it is. Like, for example, like, let's say on average, he will do about 4 or 5 of them in a row.
Long
and the 6th one will come off. But the 6th one will come off, and the 6th one will be brazy. Like for example, you know the goal Rashford scored in the Champions League when he played that outside of the foot pass around the defenders. Like, that was a brazy pass. But if you watch the rest of before the game, do you know he didn't make like one successful like key pass, like period. Like, he didn't do that. And then obviously that one spam players, isn't it? What do you say, bro?
He's one of them spam players.
He is. He's a spammer, and you know what it is. You can liken him to De Bruyne, who spams crosses in the box. However, with De Bruyne, his is more efficient, so he's always putting it in the right area. He's got a higher success rate. But with Bruno's one, it's kind of like sometimes, you'll think that, wait, he just kicked it. He didn't know what he was doing. He just kicked it into space. Like, he just said, cool, I'm going to put it in this space. Hopefully someone gets it. And that is just like, I don't know, because maybe like last season, his output was very, very good. So like he's got that credit in the bank. But if he was playing for me, I just feel like sometimes I'll be thinking like, come on, bro. Like,
I'll take him off.
Give him a chance.
But then is that not then down to the manager trusting Bruno too much for him to be doing that every game?
Yeah, but that's what when I said like 10 minutes ago, I don't think Solskjaer trusts his managerial ability enough to say, Bruno, stop doing that, because he knows it's eventually going to come up, or eventually Rashford's going to score, eventually someone's going to be in. But do you know these top managers, bro? You think Bruno could be doing that under Pep? Bro, he'll get started.
Under Conte, he would not be doing that under Conte.
Any top manager, he's not doing that. Because you know what these top managers, their whole thing is ball efficiency. Keep the ball, recycle the ball. If it's not on, recycle it. If it's not on, recycle it. Solskjaer will just see Bruno do it and he's unlucky, mate. Next time.
Next time.
Well done, enjoy yourself out there.
Literally. Honestly. Moving on to the next segment. Obviously, we've covered a lot of United, Spurs. There's a few other exciting fixtures. On Saturday, we have 12:30 kickoff. Arsenal go to Leicester.
Big one.
This is a big game. This is a really big game because Leicester are hitting form at the wrong time. People are saying Arsenal have hit form.
No, you have. You have. Don't try and downplay it.
I don't. No, bro. Do you know why I'm saying I don't?
Bro, you're not unbeaten since you got whacked by City.
Yeah, but cool, bro. If you really look at
2 draws, by the way, and like 6 wins.
If you really look at it, I look at more so the performance, because for me the performances are more sustainable than the results you're getting. Crystal Palace, you got the rub of the green there. Why the hell you're drawing in the last second of the game?
Yeah, luckily.
At least you didn't lose 3-0.
Oh yeah, that was peak. That was peak.
You might have lost all your London derbies, fam.
Bro, we've been whacked every single London derby, and we're gonna go Brentford and get whacked too.
Nah, the Brentford.
But to be honest, I feel like this is for Arteta, For Arteta, I feel
game
like
for
this
him.
is a big game for him because I feel like this is now his chance to. He's playing one of the quote unquote big boys. So if he pulls a result out of the bag, I feel like he gets a bit of, because even though he's had a decent run, yeah, there's still that little target on his back waiting for maybe a Leicester 3-1 tomorrow. But if he gets like a 2-1 away win, then I think he's got a bit more credit. Maybe he gets to the end of the season.
Well, last season, I think Arsenal did go to Leicester and did get a result. I think they won there as well. So we'll see what happens. If they pull off.
What do you reckon's gonna happen?
Why do you keep
What do you
saying
reckon
they, bro? Wait. Why do you keep saying they? If they. You support them, bro. You're an Arsenal fan. Don't do that. Like
No,
you say
I
they,
support
Kind
them.
of discern
No,
them.
I
why you
support
not
them.
saying you, bro?
No, I support them, but I don't like saying we no more. I don't like to be emotionally attached to this club anymore. They've done too much damage to my soul. I'm not doing it no more. So it's
So
they.
what do you reckon the result's gonna be if you had to guess?
I reckon.
Don't forget, Tielemans is on fire.
Yeah, literally, he's gonna get involved. In that game.
Midfield battles.
Vardy always gets involved.
Daka comes off the bench.
Yeah, Vardy loves it against you lot.
I reckon Harvey Barnes will have something to say. I reckon this is gonna be. I'm saying a 3-3 draw. I'll say 3-3. I don't see no win. What are you not saying?
3-1 Leicester still.
Ooh,
I think
I'm rooting for Leicester on this one.
2-1.
2-1 Leicester.
For me, 2-1, 3-1 maybe.
Yeah, I'll say 3-1.
It all depends if Leicester's midfield is feeling to bring it to Arsenal, man.
That's true. Aston Villa, West Ham. Another interesting
West Ham,
game.
I think. West Ham, in good form. They're in very good form. They just beat City in the cup. They're gonna be going with their next few games, saying, right, we've got the chance to take on anyone right now.
Aston Villa outside to prove, though.
Cup.
But they beat him on penalties. But I hear you. I don't want to downplay their victory.
And they smacked us last week.
You know, just everyone's lapdog, innit? I swear down, you know, just getting smacked by everyone. So what are you lot saying with predictions?
I'm saying
I'm going for a West Ham away win.
No, 2-0. 2-0 West Ham, yeah. 2-0 West Ham.
I'll go 2-1. 2-1 West Ham.
Elliot,
You might have downplaying Villa, though.
That's
I
what
think
I was
Villa.
Downplaying
I don't think Villa are that good
like
anymore.
West Ham are just in it, man. But I feel like
West Ham
just
pop
on
ball.
fire, man.
West Ham actually pop ball.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what you say, they've shown
Yeah,
last
nah,
season.
it's champagne football still. It's champagne football.
Villa's still trying to find their feet.
I'm saying West Ham 2-1. I reckon Villa will definitely get one. Yeah. And then we've got Everton Wolves.
Well, you see with this one, yeah, me and Panta, we had an argument. Yeah, we're saying which game do you reckon is going to be the better game, Villa West Ham or Wolves Everton?
Villa West Ham.
Yeah.
I don't
see.
I don't see why you lot are saying that though. Like, what are you saying that based on?
Look at
I feel like they both play better football than Wolves and Everton.
Yeah, because Wolves are playing football where they're not trying to win by 2-0, 3-0. They're trying to stay in the game, within the game. They've only just touched form. So for them to be grabbing big wins is too soon against teams like Everton as well. And then Everton have just lost 5-2. So they might not be on a thing where we go all out attack. They might just say, let's hold the ball to play a bit more defensive. So it's not as much of an entertaining game, innit?
But then both defenses are pretty shaky. So could you not then say by that same logic that it's most likely going to be end to end?
Nah, not really. In the
I don't think
Everton haven't got firepower.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin's injured.
And neither do Wolves as well.
Wolves is more like their creativity.
Juan Jimenez, they're doing their thing. But
Still
Adama Traore
just started. That one has just started.
I'm not sold.
Between them two has just started, yeah.
I feel you. So what were we saying in terms of predictions for that?
But I think it's going to be like a board draw, like a 1-1 board draw.
Oh, come on. Wolves, Everton, bro.
I do hear that, though.
Bro, it's going to be a board draw, trust me.
I'm saying 2-2. I'll say 2-2.
Do you reckon there's 4 goals in that game?
I reckon there's 4 goals in that game, bro. Because, bro, I'm so sorry, but no one's going to tell me that when they saw Watford, Everton, pre-game, there was going to be 7 goals in that game. And
Yeah,
5
but
were
bro,
coming
that
from
was like
boxing.
an anomaly. That was like an anomalous result. Like Watford scoring how many goals? Like that's not happening again. That's not happening again for the
More
rest of the
than one
season.
goal. It's not happening the rest of the season.
No, that's
That's not
very
happening
true.
again for
That's
the
very
rest of the
true.
season.
So what? TP, what are you saying in terms of prediction?
Bro, ball draw,
Score,
1-1.
ball draw. You're
Ball
saying
draw,
1-1,
bro.
I'm saying 2-2. Elliot?
I'm going 2-2. Nah,
Daddy?
1-1. Actually, no,
I'm saying
0-0.
1-1. I'm saying 1-1. 1-1.
I said 0-0.
I'm going 0-0, bro.
You probably have
nil.
your odd few chances for
See,
Wolves.
this is why I
where
don't like
it-
Elliot. I feel like
it
Elliot
can be
just talks
snatched.
for engagement, bruv.
Ah,
Elliot talks for views, bruv. It's
You
not
said
going to be
2-2.
0-0.
You
You
said
know it's
4
not going to
goals,
be
bro.
0-0.
Who
Bro,
scored
4
for
goals
Wolves?
is even worse than
Who
0-0,
scored for
bro.
Wolves?
At least 0-0 is not realistic.
Who is
4
scoring for
goals,
Wolves?
you're wondering, fam, who's going to score what goal, bruv?
It has to be 4 corners.
You know-
It has to be.
Nah, it's not going to be. You know it's not going to be 4
It's a
corners.
1-1,
But,
bro. It's a 1-1, I'm telling you.
as we round off this episode, thank you for everyone who was listening. We hope you enjoyed this special episode. We are officially back on YouTube. So catch us on here at Hitnmiss Podcast. Catch us on our Instagram at Hitnmiss7. We're also on TikTok for you TikTok lovers. I know everyone loves a bit of TikTok. Hitnmiss_podcast. Special shout out to TP.Gram for joining us today and taking his time out of the day. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you to Elliot as well and to Taddy. And we'll see you guys again next week as we review what looks to be an exciting Premier League weekend. Thank you, lads, for joining. Thank you guys for listening.
In a bit, bro.